Guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about my month-long journey with string gauges. Yes, string gauges. Since Rick Beato, Dave Onrato, and Rhett Shull blew up the guitar community interwebs about a month and a half ago, everyone's trying lighter strings, moving on from their old norms. And Rhett, and I'll link those videos down, that video down below, as well as Rhett's video, because those guys I really follow and really respect. But you know, Rhett said it in his video. We tend to hold on to our things, and they're the right way. That's the way to do it. And I'm old enough to know that there is only a few things that are the way to do it. And if you're an open heart surgeon, there's a way to do it. If you're a guitar player, there's many paths to getting a tone. And one of those is strings. So I'm going to talk about my journey. And it took me a month, and I didn't want to post a video right away. And I know I'm late to this party. I didn't want to post this video right away because I wanted to really experiment. And what I learned was string gauge is dependent a lot on the guitar. The guitar can be the game changer with a heavier or lighter gauge. There's different scale lengths. And it all started for me with this guitar right here. This is a Harmony, a 1965 Harmony Monterey. Bought it on eBay, redid the neck, put a P90 in the neck, and took it out on the road and beat the crap out of it. I really love that guitar. It's been my primary guitar for a long time, but I always struggled with it being a little dark. I'm in open D tuning, so it darkens it a little bit. And so on my own, I discovered lighter strings, light by my standard. When I started playing guitar and playing slide guitar 15, 16 years ago in open D tuning, I played 13 to 56 jazz strings because I needed the heavy string because I was a terrible slide player. I fretted out the slide quite a bit. And so that's just what I played. I didn't change that. I was dogmatic about that string on my guitars. And NYXL came out by D'Addario, I don't know how many years ago, and I thought, I'm going to try that. So I put NYXLs on the Monterey, and it changed that guitar. I went to 11 to 49 NYXLs. The brightness came, and that's what NYXLs do. They bring a little brightness to the table, and it worked perfect for that guitar. That guitar lives with those strings on it. I will never change. I'll be dogmatic about it. I won't change. But it works for that guitar. So fast forward to where we are today. And a month and a half ago, Rick Beato talks about he plays eights. Billy Gibbons eights. B.B. King eights. Some say Billy Gibbons played sevens. Who knows? But I've always played fairly heavy strings because I played open tunings. Joey Landreth, Ariel Posen all play, in the 60 to 17 range. Those are heavy strings. They're tuned down 2 whole steps, but it's pretty significant heavy. And your guitar will change how it responds and how it intonates with the thickness of the strings. So that's something to consider as you're changing strings. So I let a month go by and I tried 9s and 10s. I didn't go as low as 8s because I knew I wouldn't like them. And I put 8s on a Stratocaster, or 9s on a Stratocaster, and it felt great. It sounded fine as well, but I think part of heavier strings for people that play heavier strings is they have this sound in their head, and that's why you need a month or more with lighter strings so you can try to get a feel for how they sound to you. Regardless, it's like if you like a big full low sound, you're not going to get that right away with 9s because your ear's just not used to it. Once your ear gets used to it, then absolutely. And will 9s and 10s hold open tunings? Yeah, they can hold open D with no problem. But I go back to it's dependent on the guitar. So the next guitar... LP style guitar. Ricardo is a builder in Nashville, Tennessee, and he builds fantastic instruments, best instruments, and he is affordable, and he builds these guitars. And I put that guitar was set up with 12 to 52s because I was trying to go heavier when I built this guitar. And I dropped a set of 10s on it, and it just didn't like it. Just didn't like it. I didn't like it. The guitar seemed to just be thin to me. I left them on for about 2 weeks, played every day on it, and I didn't like the way it felt when I played slide. I went back to 1149s, and that guitar opened back up. 1252 probably still work great on that guitar, but 11 to 49s on open Ds playing pretty light. So I really dig those on that. Fast forward to, I went to NAMM and bought a guitar from Supro. This is the Ford Thurston Richie Kotai collaboration designed 335 with a center block. And Ford had this set up to his specs when he had it sent to me. And it's got 10 to 46. Just regular EXL 115s. And that guitar is probably one of the best playing guitars I own. That and the LP are both. All my guitars are set up really well, but that just has something. It's got a 12-inch radius neck. It's 24.75 length, the same as the LP. But the 10s feel like 11s. They feel really good to me, and so I won't change them. I'll leave those as at 10s. I didn't mess with that guitar. I didn't change strings on it. Those just have 10s on it. And so I went ahead and took out probably my second main guitar. I played this guitar quite a bit. This is my Epiphone DOT. This is a Korean-made Epiphone, made in the Samick factory, and it is brilliant. I paid next to nothing for this, and this has been my primary guitar over the last 2 years. Man, it's a great guitar. I tried And it's always had 11 to 49s, and I've found it hard to play slide on. For some reason, they feel like 9s on that guitar. So I put a set of 12 to 52s on that guitar, and it was like, oh, that's what that guitar needs. In my experiment with changing string gauges, I went back to 11 to 49, and the guitar is really easy to play, but for playing slide, it's a little more technical. You have to be a little bit better, or I have to be better at fretting the notes and not missing, and it's a little harder with the lighter strings. So and it's 24.75 scale length. Supro has a Bigsby on it. Maybe that's the difference, because if I put 11s on that, they would feel so heavy. Whereas the Epiphone needs 12s for me to fit really, and tone is tone, right? Okay, so that's the whole thing with Beato and Rick and Dave. Are you getting more clarity out of lower gauge strings? And yeah, you do. You absolutely get a little more clarity. And Sean Tubbs said this in his video a month or so ago. He talked about the transients. There's things with the heavier strings that he likes that he misses in the lighter strings. Like there's some overtones and things that he likes. And I tend to agree with that. And I'll link all of these videos in the bottom. Watch those videos and have some fun with this. But, my friend Guthrie Trapp, he plays 10s and he'll never change. Why should he? He's a monster player. Ford plays 10s. That's why 10s were on the Supro. So when it comes to experimenting with strings, have fun. Know that if you're playing in standard tuning and you go super heavy, be careful, because you can warp the neck, because those strings there's going to be so much more tension on that neck. So you're going to need to do a neck adjustment with those. And one of the other guitars that I did, this is my Partscaster. It's just a pine body of some sort, probably 6 pieces. I don't know. Love this guitar. I put a set of 10s on it and I hated it. It sounded fine, but I hated the way it felt. Did not like the way it played. And so 11s went back on that. And so after a month or a month and a half of swapping strings, I am tried and true staying with my D'Addario EXL 115s. I do love the NYXL, but I'm not playing out as much. I'm not touring. I'm not on the road every day as I once was. And so it's not critical for me to get a long life. I mean, my guitars, I play all of them all the time, so I don't wear them out. I'm not real acidic with my hands. So I'll stay with that. So I bought a 10-pack of the EXL 115s and I bought a 10-pack of the EXL 110s. And that means that the 110s will stay on the Supro. I'm going to have strings for the Supro for a while. All the other guitars will get 11 to 49. The Epiphone will get 12 to 52. And so I hope that this gave you some information on my journey on string gauges. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. Hit the bell if you want to subscribe and get notifications whenever I do these videos. And we'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.